Okay, so the last video, we look at all the requirements. We know that the server is capable to receive the measurement point. So now it's time to install the measurement point. So here on the configuration manager server, I'm going to administration, site configuration, and servers and site system roles. Because I already have the server in my infrastructure, I'm going to use the server 04. I'm going to right click the server 04, add site system roles. If that server is a new server, like we did with the distribution point, you can just right click and create site system server. Okay, because I'm going to reuse, I'm going to add a role to already existing server, add site system roles. And the UI is similar to what we had before. Lots of information has already been automatically populated for us. So we know that the server is server 004. It already tells us that's on the primary site P1, that we're using the account, this configuration manager server account, that's also local administrator on that other box. This was one of the pre-requirements I actually forgot to tell you. But it's already there because we know the configuration manager was able to install the distribution point. So in this case, I will click next. Proxy, I'm not using proxy like I discussed on the other video, but this is how this server will connect to the internet. So server 004 will connect to the internet. There is no proxy here. I will click next. And on the list, I'm going to select measurement point and click next. So the next information is how I'm going to connect to the measurement point. I'm going to connect using HTTP and not HTTPS. And everything else will remain the same because I'm going to talk about those things at a later stage, for example, the generate alert. But if you have HTTPS environment, you can select here HTTPS and select the options. On our case, we are going to use HTTP only. Next, and here is how we are going to use the database. We're going to use a database replica. We can put the data here, or we are going to use the configuration manager, site server information, and we are going to use that one. So we will leave the default. And how we are going to connect to the SQL? Are we going to connect to the SQL using the computer account, or we are going to connect to the SQL use a alternative account that has this connectivity? I'm going to use the computer account. I will click here next. And before I click next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the CM trace. And there are going to be a few logs while the installation is happening that I will start having a look just to see if the installation has completed or not. I will click here next, and now the process, the configuration manager will request and start the installation. I will just click close. And if I open here a couple of logs, oh sorry, I don't think it's here already. So just one. So let me go to server 04. And I have here on the D drive, you can see here there are a lot more folders. I have the SMS folder, and shortly we'll have a logs folder. So I will leave the installation to finish. At least created the logs folder so I can actually start looking at the logs. And as soon as everything is done, I will come back to you. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and if you have any comments or queries, leave in the comment section below. If you're asking questions, use hashtag #AskRaphael. Okay, I will be right back with you then. Okay, so something is already happening. If I open here the logs, you can see here I have mp setup.log. This is the log I want to show you guys here. And what is happening is already installed some of the requirements that are automatically installed. So, but this is opening on, well, Notepad, not actually CM trace. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to browse to server 03 on where configuration manager is installed. And there is a folder called tools. And I'm going to copy the CM trace and I'm going to put here on the Windows folder. And now I can actually double click and it's asking me if I want always use this software to see log files. It's yes. So what actually I can do right now is double click the MP setup, open a CM trace, and you can see here something is happening. Also, I can open the MP MSI and it will tell me this is the MSI log, and if there is anything going on with the MSI, I can see if there is problem or not. So far so good. And you can see here that is almost completed, actually completed. If we go back to the other log, we can see here the installation was successful. So the installation of the whole managementpoint was successful. So this is good. It installed the prior requirements that need to be installed and also installed the managementpoint itself. So server 4 seems to be okay now, good. You can see here there are more logs that start showing up. The other log I want to show you is the MP control. And this is telling me if there is something good or bad on this server. So far, because the installation, there are a couple of things that will have some error or failure, but we will now go back to the configuration manager server. And here in the monitoring, system status, component status, we will start be looking for the MP underscore control. So you can see here MP underscore control manager, and we are going to look at all the messages for the last day. Could be just the last few minutes actually. And you can see here there are a lot of messages. So normally the messages 10, 13, 14, 15 is just I receive information to install, I'm installing, and I completed the installation. The 500 means, well, I have tried to start the component, and the component has started. But the message that we want to see is the 5460, that basically means managementpoint is responding to requests. That this is quite good. So managementpoint is actually working. So we have installed, we have a look at some of the logs, and we now see that through the logs and also through the UI that everything seems to be working. And this is quite good. So that's it for this video. Next video, we are going to be deeper in, let's go troubleshooting, just a few tips and tricks to see exactly if the managementpoint is working or not, and a little bit more in terms of where the data is going as well. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye for now.